Matamu tu.
Karibu to the Matamu 2 podcast. Season 2 is coming along very swimmingly, if you ask me. And today we are blessed to be in studio with Nadupoi. Karibu sana!
Ooh, you don't have any chatting things like...
Sina hizo. Taziweka. So, please introduce yourself.
So, I'm Julie Nadupoi. I'm a digital content creator, if I can say that.
Fancy!
You know. But I only make videos on Instagram. So, sija branch out bado.
Ujaingia the TikTok?
Bai, uko nilishindwa.
Kwa nini?
You know, having a small sister, then you're trying there to keep up with the dances. I'm like, let me just respect my age.
Inabidi. Ndio safi tu. Siko baya.
Nilishindwa nikasema it's okay.
Okay. No, it's important to know when you've been beat and just to move on in life, right?
And I've tried. Important. Yeah, the good thing is I tried.
Yeah, that's good. Nadupoi will introduce herself a bit more and tell us more about what she's doing later on in the episode. But for this episode, we're actually going to cover the topic of seafood in very broad strokes. Yeah.
Okay.
So now, seafood is any form of sea life regarded as food by humans, and particularly fish and shellfish. Yeah. So it's often distinguished from meat. So anybody who is a vegetarian but consumes seafood is known to be taking a pescatarian diet.
Oh.
So if you're pescatarian, yes, you're eating seafood, right? Fish and
I didn't know
octopuses and such like things.
Okay.
It's a very important source of protein, animal protein.
All right. In
very many diets around the world, especially in coastal areas. So guys who live along, the coast where it's easier to find, right?
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, findings in a sea cave in South Africa, somewhere called Pinnacle Point, indicated that modern humans, that's Homo sapiens.
Okay.
This is now where you go into history. Homo sapiens harvested marine life as early as 165,000 years ago. So the Neanderthals, now the ones who came before the Homo sapiens, appears to have been eating seafood at sites along the Mediterranean coast about the same time. So that's, generally when people started going into the ocean to fish.
Yeah.
And over the years, of course, the culture has
improved.
And people have been able to figure out what's edible, what isn't edible.
Oh, yeah.
And you are a self-professed seafood lover, right?
I love seafood.
Okay.
I don't even... Guys who don't love seafood, I don't understand.
No. There's space for everybody. There's space for everybody.
But some people just don't like it because of how they look alive. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Like seeing an octopus alive.
And then you're like, I'm going to put that in my mouth.
Exactly. So I know many guys don't like that.
When did you first try seafood?
I think my dad, actually, when I was around like 6 years or 5 or 4, one of those two.
Wow.
So my dad loves fish. He really does. And he will come home with fish, different types. Either the one which, what are they called? Then you're dipping in.
I don't know. You just tell me, what are they called?
For Mama Oliech. Those ones.
Okay.
So he used to either come with that or come with the raw one, and then we make breadcrumbs with him, and then we make fish fingers.
Hey.
So
we are so
then slowly he introduced us to prawns. And then now is when I was intrigued. Because when I used to see things, now I think I'm the opposite of what people like fear seafood because of that.
Yes.
I'm intrigued of like, wow, what does that taste like?
Like you see this no, I'm not going to call them ugly, but you see this ugly sea animal and you're just like, I wonder what that would taste like. You would do well in Asia.
So now but not everything, just like someone can say octopus and I'm like, okay, how does octopus taste? Like that's something very new.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like testing different things.
That's so fascinating because most people I know would be like, okay, mimi nakulanga ile. And that story ends there.
I try everything. I think I've tried because I used to go to ostrich farm. I've eaten ostrich. Used to go to Mamba village. I've eaten crocodile. So I think when you're just moving around, you try different.
You most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Now, personally, me as James, as a Reumac,
meat is meat. Full stop.
I'm very allergic to shellfish.
Really?
And certain types of sea fish as well. Kuwa mtu wa bara ni shida kabisa.
How you're allergic to something?
It happens. I guess the proteins are they don't agree with my system.
Okay.
And also now because in nilikuwa mtu wa bara, it was very rare for me to get a chance to test things and find out, right?
Yeah,
so like the most we would do is like normal fish, like tilapia.
Yes.
From Mama Oliet.
Yes.
That was it. That was the end of the story.
Fish is always the best.
So it's fantastic. Like from Kitambo, like it's always like when you think fish, it's Mama Oliet.
Yes.
And so the first time I actually tried some seafood must have been when I was an intern, so that's like about 2010.
Okay.
Going to fancy hotels and eating fancy things.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned that I was allergic.
Oh.
Let me give you a story.
So wait, you can eat tilapia, but you can't eat the rest.
Can you imagine?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to Guinea.
Okay.
That's off the coast of West Africa, right?
Yeah.
I was with a very American, and he was the only one who knew French.
Yeah.
It's a French-speaking country.
Uh-huh.
So I gave him all the work of ordering the food whenever we went out.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that I have a seafood allergy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So he orders a salad that has prawns in it.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. I didn't know that there were prawns because they were like chopped up.
Yeah.
It wasn't like whole prawns.
You don't like see the tail and everything. Yeah.
So I was like, this is tasting fantastic. Wacha niweze kufungana, my friend.
That's crazy.
Challenges. Thankfully, I used to tembea with no, just antihistamines. Like it's not that bad. It's not like EpiPen bad.
Yeah.
I just get hives.
Okay.
I get hives and like my throat starts to close, but not at the constriction immediate. So as long as I get some form of antihistamine in pretty quickly, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's scary.
Okay.
It is hella scary. I can assure you that.
I'm sorry. That is I can imagine.
But it's life.
Hella life.
Now fresh fish is most commonly found like near water, and most people would be looking at eating it from the water, right?
Yeah.
That's where it's freshest.
Yeah.
But the advent of the refrigerated truck especially has made fish available everywhere.
Yeah.
And there are different types of seafood, right?
Yeah.
So you have your fish, that's your tuna, salmon, red snapper, then your mollusks, which are your scallops, mussels, octopus actually as well. You have your crustaceans, which is your crabs, shrimps, lobsters, and then you have your other aquatic animals, the reptiles, people who like eating turtles, and you have your jellyfish, which I don't know why you would even be eating a jellyfish. I have no idea.
I think.
See, you're adventurous.
I think. I'm not so sure. I'm never so sure of things, but I think I have.
Really?
It sounds like something I've put in my mouth. It sounds like something.
That's what she said.
Well.
You also have your sea vegetables, by the way.
Okay.
So like your seaweeds, nori. If you're a fan of sushi, I'm sure you've seen the nori sheets. So they wrap the
black ones,
yeah.
Okay.
That's actually seaweed.
Okay.
Which is a vegetable.
Okay.
It grows in the ocean. Yeah.
All right.
It's very good for you. Then you also have spirulina. I don't know if you ever had. You had to take spirulina capsules when you were younger. My parents were very health food conscious.
Is it 7 C's?
No, okay. Cod liver oil is actually a product of the sea because cod are sea fish.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But then there's something called spirulina. It was this green nasty thing that we used to drink whenever we had a cold. And they're like, no, it's good for you. It's a superfood.
No, those parents used to touch us with that. So just nasty.
Oh my God.
No. It was nasty.
Now, fish is very highly perishable. Rod.
Kikuyu has come out. It's a must.
So fish is very highly perishable.
Okay.
That fishy smell can be due to the breakdown of amino acids in the fish's body.
Oh.
Making amines, which are like the smells.
Yeah.
Chemicals that make those smells, and ammonia.
Yeah.
So that's why fish smells bad sometimes.
Okay.
And this is part of why seafood can be hit or miss for some people, because they get that smell and it's like, not doing it. Not doing it.
Yeah.
So tell me, which of the seafoods which I've mentioned do you love the most?
Wow. Okay.
Terrain.
So I love octopus.
Is it?
I love it.
Have you ever eaten it live?
Okay, definitely not, because it looks scary from Little Mermaid. How the guy. No.
I like that's your reference, Little Mermaid.
No. No, thank you. But I love octopus. Actually, let's just swap. I love calamari.
Oh.
I think it's such a nice meaty thing.
Is it the texture or is it the flavor that
I think
you
it's
like?
usually the flavor. Because it's somehow they just don't make it. I like how it's also the texture and the flavor coming in together. It's just like how guys like eating medium rare.
Yes.
Because I think with steak, medium rare is usually much better. Okay, in some people.
I wouldn't
but anyway.
know. Me, I like my steak dead.
I used to. Then I changed. Let me tell you, I was educated. I was like, okay.
It's a good thing.
I also love lobster and crabs. Yeah, and prawns. Yeah,
they're okay.
They're not executive, sometimes exotic. So
these fancy people, And while we are being fancy, the podcast is now on video, so you can go to YouTube, search Matamu 2, and you can actually watch us doing our antics in studio. It's really hilarious. By the way, you need to watch this. And while you're on there, please subscribe, hit like and share. Yes. All those things, those very nice things. Make sure
comment.
You do it. Big comments. Your comments will actually be read, by the way. They'll be read on Matamu Extra, which shall be coming out a week after this episode, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now let's move on.
Yeah.
As a side note, and this is a story that is I'm not very proud to tell this story.
Okay.
But I shall tell it.
All right.
The oldest and still most widely used technique of preserving fish is drying and salting. Yeah. So it's like simple. All you need is just salt.
Yes.
And if you're by the ocean, you probably already have the salt. Right?
Yeah.
You could also ferment the fish.
How?
The unfortunate thing is that I'm very allergic to one of my favorite condiments called Worcestershire. That's how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Worcestershire.
What is that?
Worcestershire sauce is a fantastic condiment.
Okay.
It has tamarind, anchovies, fermented anchovies, and other things, and it just brings the umami into the food, right?
Okay, yeah.
And how they make it is that they actually take the anchovies, which are sea fish, and put them in a barrel and ferment them.
Okay.
With a little bit of salt, so that then they break down, and then they take that and mash it up and mix it with some other things and make some really, really, really good sauce. I don't know how to explain Worcestershire.
You have lost me and found me.
It's fine. It's fine. But I'm allergic to it, and it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And talking of fermented fish, a honorable mention goes to something called surströmming, which is lightly salted and fermented Baltic Sea herring. Okay. And it's traditional to Swedish cuisine since probably like the 16th century.
All right.
I had the fortune to be in Sweden about a decade ago.
Okay.
Give or take. And one day we were at somebody's bash and somebody decided to open a can of surströmming. My friends, I have never been turned off fish like that.
You are like, it's okay. See, I must.
The smell. It's so terrible.
See, I must. For someone who doesn't like or is allergic to fish, you know quite a lot.
You're
teaching me.
It's my job. It's my job to know. It's my job to know.
And I'm the one who likes it.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Now, fermented fish is actually a traditional part of cuisines in seaside communities around the world. So, like, you have Koreans, you have, I think, Chinese as well, who have something with a fermented fish in it, right? Mm-hmm. But now, in 1981, a German landlord evicted a tenant without notice after the tenant spread the brine of the surströmming on the apartment building's wall. So, like, surströmming tends to build up a lot of gas inside the can. Okay. Right? Yeah. So now when you open it, if you don't open it properly, it'll spray the brine that the fish has been sitting in. Okay. And that thing stinks, Yeah. It stinks terribly. So when the landlord was taken to court by the tenant for evicting the court ruled that the termination was justified. Okay. When the landlord's lawyers demonstrated the case by opening a can of surströmming inside the courtroom.
Oh.
The court
was like, we understand.
Like, no. And I quote. The court is convinced of itself that the disgusting smell of the fish brine far exceeded the degree that fellow tenants in the building could be expected to tolerate. You can imagine that there's food,
that
and
makes sense.
that's somebody's like favorite food, man.
Oh yeah,
I don't get it. Yeah, don't get it absurd.
No, I understand. I understand why even you have to understand that. I like fish.
Yeah.
But also I hate the after smell.
Mm,
You know, immediately after I finish eating fish, I have to go wash my hands.
Very,
because
very well.
after some while when you start smelling
it's
it,
like, ugh.
it was nice, but see, I must also.
So, do you cook your own seafood?
I try, but I prefer eating in restaurants. I won't lie to you. I prefer,
It's
especially
okay.
the last meal I think I had was either last week, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Then someone in the office ordered. Now we were told to order food.
Yeah.
Like, let me just try this seafood pasta, and let me tell you mine now.
Eh?
I won't lie to you. It was amazing.
It was?
It was a seafood pasta with calamari and prawns and a red snapper.
Okay.
It was, it did the work.
That sounds fantastic.
It did the work. So
I'm jealous.
I like I eat, sometimes I cook. I prefer cooking fish fillet.
Okay.
Yeah, or fish fingers, if I can say
So
that.
which fish are you using for that?
Wow, let me tell you.
Ama nile samaki.
Miangu inakwanga. Dadi kuja nile fish inakwanga ya kupika fish fingers.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Oh, Daddy, where do you get that? Remember that fish will take for fish fingers?
one.
See, Daddy, you make it order, it comes home, I start making. So I will confirm with my old man. Then I'll text you.
Okay, so Nadupoi is actually going to share with us her favorite recipe for fish fingers.
Yes.
And we're going to post it up on the show notes so that you can also try it out and see that ile samaki ya fish fingers vile inakuanga.
Bro, in a slap. Let me tell you, but I can cook for you if you want me to. I got you. Just call me.
You can hit
Atafi.
her up. We're going to leave her contacts in the show notes for you.
Well.
And that's actually all I had.
Yeah.
So now comes my favorite part of the show. Guest questions. Woo!
The way you're saying, woo, I'm scared.
Don't be.
Okay.
We are very simple people.
Hit me with the best shot. Let's go.
So what's an embarrassing seafood related story that you have? Doesn't have to be about you.
Okay. Jesus.
If you're watching this on video, she's really blushing right now.
So I had gone for a date.
That's where it always starts.
Yeah, I had gone for a date. And then the guy didn't say that he doesn't like seafood.
Oh, snap.
And I'm like, if you're trying to impress me, at least don't die on me.
At least.
As in,
It's the least,
it's the least you can do. Don't die on me. So I ordered, as usual, calamari. And then I don't know what he ordered. I don't remember what seafood he ordered for. So in the middle of the date, man decides to like have a reaction.
Oh, snap.
And me, I'm like,
is there a doctor here?
why didn't you say anything?
No, well, maybe he was like, okay.
No, it was, and then plus, I don't know how to act when things, I don't know about things. So imagine in a restaurant, everyone is looking, I'm just like,
well.
He dying. And I'm sorry, guys.
So how did he get sorted out? Did he get like an EpiPen or something? What happened?
So apparently there was a chemist around. So he just went, got some what do you call them?
Antihistamines?
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not allergic to it.
It's okay. You must be nice to not be allergic to anything like the rest of us.
So I got some antihistamine, and then he came back, and that date was awkward after that.
Wait, he actually came? I thought the date was over.
No.
Oh,
I had to finish my meal.
I mean, it's food.
Yeah. It's my calamari.
You know?
I have to finish my calamari, bro. I'm sorry. So he came back, and that date was so awkward. And I won't lie to you, from then I was like, it's been real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because if you're ready to lie to me at such tender,
such a early,
yeah,
you know,
what can you do in the future?
What?
I can even sell my body without me knowing.
Okay, the next question is going to be a little bit morbid.
Okay.
So, given a choice between eating only the last seafood meal that you had, which I guess would be that seafood pasta,
yes,
and eating only that for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Or only being able to eat that one seafood meal you've always wanted to eat, and then after that you die. Which option would you go for?
Eating the last meal I had.
Interesting.
Let me tell you why. if you eat what if you make a decision of eating something you've never tasted before for the rest of your life, that thing can be a miss.
Okay.
So you're messed up. Like,
I get it.
You know, like
I get it.
You'll be cushioned.
Yeah.
And like, at least you eat something you've tried before. It was nice. At least when you tried something before, you can know. Let's say I like it with pepper.
Okay.
So when they're giving you that choice, you'll be like, okay, with pepper then.
Pepper. Today I'll have it with pepper. Tomorrow I'll have it with chili. No,
so if you say it's the last thing you have, like, I'll just say, if I want to have that, then my exemption is put it with pepper.
Okay.
You see, then like that one, you don't even know if you need soy sauce, pepper, salt.
Could be anything, right?
Hey, bro, no. I don't want to risk it. No, thank you.
Okay. That makes sense. Makes sense. And finally, what's been your go-to pandemic recipe? It doesn't have to be seafood related.
Funny thing is, I have two. I have pumpkin soup and I have granola.
Do you make your own granola?
Yes.
Hey, we are sorry. It's so fancy.
You know. But I know the reason why I started making it.
Yes.
It's because it's cheaper.
That is true.
Actually cheaper to make your own granola.
Much
It'll
cheaper.
just need like 1 hour of your time. But it's way cheaper because I think if you just buy like, I usually make like a kg with I think less than 1,000.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm buying like 500 grams for $12.50.
Yeah.
You know.
So it makes economic sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then plus go check Auntie Nemo's website. She had that's where I got the recipe from.
Yeah, so we're gonna link Auntie Nemo's recipe.
So I'm just plugging her here.
Make sure she pays you.
Man, she'll come through, man. So that and pumpkin soup. Me and my mom taught herself a recipe of pumpkin soup. So maybe we can talk about pumpkin soup next time.
Tell me that you actually plant the pumpkins yourself.
So I wish, us living in a townhouse, it's very difficult. But I heard that you can do it in a small space.
Yeah, you don't need much.
Yes, so
maybe
I'll start. Yeah, for sure I'll start. And plus, it's even it's economically cheaper. I have buying a pumpkin, make pumpkin soup, and then make granola later with the pumpkin seeds.
But the end. Yeah. You have life sorted.
Yeah.
Right. So now this is the time that you can tell us what you've been up to and what you'd want our listeners to know.
Okay. So again, I'm Nadupoi. I create videos with my friends, if I can say that. I always say my page is by friends for friends. Yeah, so
can I be your friend?
Don't worry, there's plenty.
Yay!
I got you. So like I show, let's say I've got my friends' weddings, my friends' bridal party, or I usually we go for hiking with friends. I do like when you go for road trips with friends, I take videos of us doing, let's say, activities.
Yes.
I do exams. When was the last time you did a KCP science?
Hey, fam.
On social studies.
You're talking decades here.
Bro, yeah.
Decades.
So the beauty about that is when you try to remember something and you're like, what? Like I remember I asked my friend, what helps you like clot? Someone's like, wet bodies. I looked at them, I'm like,
clotting factor, vitamin K.
Bro, platelets. And they were saying it to their chest. And I think that was actually my first episode. It was during pandemic that made seeing people's reaction towards it. I was like, I'm good with people. Let me just now make unnecessary noise. Make unnecessary noise on social media. Okay. That's what I do.
So we're going to link your Instagram page. Yes. It's going to be on the show notes. These show notes are going to be heavy this time, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And you can follow Nadupoi's exploits and adventures.
Yes.
I'm hoping that she's going to adventure a bit more on the seafood on her Instagram.
There's a video coming also for seafood.
Eee, so fancy.
I'll show you guys and everything.
All right. That's it for this episode of the Matamu 2 podcast. Look out for the next Matamu Extra. I'm going to be reading out your YouTube comments, all your comments everywhere else, and I'm going to be sharing quite a bit more information that didn't make it into this episode.
Yes.
And there might even be a recipe coming out with that extra. So please make sure that you are following this podcast. Make sure you like on YouTube, subscribe, share all those things, and any podcast platform where you're listening from. Until the next episode.
Thank you for having me.
Make waves, my people.